Hi everyone, welcome to the tutorial on Google Forms. To start with, to get to Google Forms, you can use the same options that you did to get to Google Docs and Google Slides. And when you do, you should come to a page that looks like this. The first thing to know, just like Google Slides, there are templates that you can actually look at to see what kind of a Google form you would like. Is it a survey? Are you getting feedback on something? Is this an assessment you're giving to your kids? Maybe this is a type of worksheet that you're going to have them do or an activity, whatever it may be. You can choose from these options. For today's video, I'm just going to go to a blank form. However, I will say that a lot of times as teachers, I use assessment. The assessment means basically that I can select, if I'm doing multiple choice, I can select the right answer and then it will actually grade it for me. So I love that option because if you're doing anything where you just need to know, like maybe you're at a level 1, like did they get this information? Maybe it's like a vocabulary quiz or whatever it may be. You can have them do that and then it will grade it for you. So that really cuts down on that. You can also do this through this blank presentation as well, but that's a little trickier. So I would go, if you're going to do some sort of like a quiz, knowledge check, whatever it may be, do the assessment form. But just some overall general things to know about Google Forms. To start with, there's some options that you have up here. You can customize the theme, so you can select what type of text you want each type of text to be. And so maybe I'm going to do that. I don't know. You can also select how big you want them to be, up to 24, because you don't want it to be super, super huge. You can choose an image as a header. I do this a lot to like have it be a theme. So maybe it's something that's around the same time as St. Patrick's Day. So I'm gonna put that as my header. When I was doing the Outsiders with my kids, I had specific things that were like a sunset because it was around that chapter that we were going over. And so once I do that, you can also choose the color of the background to kind of change the vibe a little bit. You can do different ones, but they'll actually give you recommended because they go with that picture. So that's also an option for you. You can preview your form, like how the kids would see it. And so that's really helpful to see what they would be seeing and just to make sure the formatting is right. You also have these options. You can make a copy, trash it if you want to. You can get a link to be able to share it with people. You can print it, which I use the print option a lot for with Google Forms for whenever I'm giving like a knowledge check or a quiz or a test. If I print this, then I can give this to my para or I can use it and I can read off the questions to my students that need them that are on IEP. So I always end up, like when I create a Google form, I always end up printing a copy so that I have that. So if I need to read it through it with somebody, or if I have somebody that can read through it with them, then they can do that. I can also add collaborators by going to this option as well. You can send it to different people, and you can put it in specific, like to specific people. And then you can add editor down at the bottom if you want to. You can get the link to share it with people, and then you can share it with them that way. Up at the top, there are different options for you to have. The questions would be like, this is the form, these are the questions that you're coming up with. The responses would be if somebody responds, like you can see in real time when kids finish with their knowledge check quiz test. You can also link this to Sheets, which I use so much because then I just link it to Sheets and I have that pulled up. It will also tell me when kids are done. It will tell me when they finish and it will tell me their score and like give me all of the questions and which ones they got right and which ones they got wrong. And then I can kind of like use the information as I need to. In settings, or if you go to settings, there's different things that you can select. You can make it a quiz, which I told you already. A lot of times I like to make it a quiz because it automatically grades it for them. I generally do this immediately after submission or after each submission. I will do this if it's all of the questions are going to be automatically graded for them. If I have maybe like a short answer question, or if I have something on there that I need to go in and look at before, then I will click on later or after manual review, which basically means that they won't get their score right away. But then as soon as I have graded it and gone through, I'll be able to like share it with them, which is nice. Locked mode basically says that kids cannot get off of this form. If they do get off of the form, even if they go to like another tab, then or I don't even believe it gives them the option to go to another tab, but if they like close out of it and come back into it, it will tell you, it will notify you. So this is really helpful on tests and quizzes. And a lot of times I'll keep it on locked mode until, if you guys allow retakes, then I'll unlock it essentially, and then they'll be able to go back in and they'll be able to retake that quiz. There's also different options of what you want them to see, so you can go on with that. You have options for responses, collect email addresses. Maybe you don't want them to do that. Allow response editing. I almost never have that on there because I want them to retake it all together or as one. Maybe I want to restrict the users. So I have that, and then limit to one response. If you have your thing in locked mode, it will automatically say it limits it to one response. If you want them to do retakes, then you can just click that off if you don't care. And then you can go on to like, here's the presentation side of things. So the progress bar, like you can have them, it show the progress bar. You can shuffle the question order, which if I'm reading it to students, I don't want it to do that. Confirmation message, you can edit what they see, and then so on and so forth. And then there's also different things that you can go through as far as like defaults, and there's form defaults, and then there's question defaults as well. So those are settings that you can all look into, or that you can look into to see what you want to do. So once you've kind of looked in, played with the settings, maybe you got the format, okay, this is how it's going to look, and you start putting in questions, here are your options. So here's your title of the form. You can label it anything you want. So quiz, maybe. And then it will update up there if you click on that. You can do a description or give some general, general guidelines for them to know about this. And then there are also options that will pop up when you try to do text so that you know that you have those. Then you go into adding your first question. So once you like add a question, you can click on you can click on a few things. I maybe might want to do all multiple choices, but you can also do or use Google Forms to do like exit tickets or like responses to questions that you might have. So maybe you have short answer questions or paragraph style questions. You can have check boxes, which means there's multiple correct answers, or you can even have a drop down box, and then you can go on from there. So I'm going to stick with multiple choice, and then you can literally just ask the question. You can do as many options as you want to give to them. You can also add an other option, which allows them to put in their own what they think the answer is. I've done that a few times. If it's like a quiz or depending on what you're doing, I always make them required, which means they have to answer them before they submit it. And then the answer key is how you know So if this is my question with all my options, then I would just go in and click this, and then I would make sure that this was at 1 point or however amount of points that I would like it to be at, and then I would move on. And so then as kids are answering it, if they don't select option number 4, then it gets marked wrong. And you'll be able to see that as well. If you want to make a copy of the question, you can just go here and make a copy, and then so on and so forth. So for like vocabulary quizzes, I might do like the first 4 vocabulary words or first like 6 or something, and have like reoccurring definitions. And so I can just make a copy and tweak them as I go on and go forth. So to see this from the kids side, I'm going to go to preview, and a lot of the times, don't forget, always put like name and hour or whatever you want to do for that. And I'm going to select or answer the questions and submit this. And then I should be able to see or view my score. And I got 100%, yay. What you will then see, or what you can then do in your view, you can actually go to the quiz and go to responses, and then you'll be able to see the breakdown of responses. You can go into the summary, so how the whole class did, which is super helpful. You can see by individual questions how students did. And then you can also see the individual. So this would be what I answered. What I talked about earlier is looking at the link to Sheets. If you click link to Sheets, you can create a link, or you can create a sheet, and it will pull up for you, and then it will break it down for you, and you can kind of play with this how you want. And I'm going to be going over Google Sheets as well. But it will tell you when they submitted it, so you can see if a kid did it during their class time or not. You can see like who did it. You can see their score, like it gave me the score. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll ask a question that is like, for me as a middle school teacher, what hour are you in? And so what you can do is once you have your sheet, is you can actually sort it like A to Z. And if you've asked them like, what hour are you in, or maybe a more specific question, like that, or maybe you've had them put in their last name and their first name as separate questions, then you can sort it so it's in alphabetical order. Or for me, then I can look at all of my second hour at the same time, all of my 6th hour at the same time, or whatever hour it may be, and then I can put in their scores really easily because it's right there. And so that's a super helpful thing to know, and I wish I would have known sooner about Google Forms. I hope that this tutorial helped you with Google Forms. If you guys have any more questions, don't hesitate to reach out. You can always go to the contact form on the website and let me know. And I hope this gets you started on using Google Forms.